Welcome back. We've got ourselves the second game coming up very shortly. Total Aggression were not able to make it out of the first game with a victory. Power Rangers took the first game of the best of 5, so there's a lot of chance for Total Aggression to still come back in this one. But we're going to see if they can do it, if they have a bit of a stronger early game, and if they get the heroes they want, of course, as well. Game 2 of the best of 5, of course, this is the grand finals for the Romanian Spring Cup, and we are also joined by G-Advance. G-Advance, welcome back to the broadcast.
So, yeah, good to be here again. I mean, Total Aggression, they play to their namesake. Again,
Yes.
They pick a draft that's... We've seen it multiple times from them, but the thing is, this draft and this style has worked for them through most of the tournament. PR are the favourites to win, though.
Yeah.
And you almost have to pull off something special. It's not like PR don't know what Total Aggression do anymore. Like I said, they've done it throughout this tournament. You can only say, you know, there's a possibility they might want to say, oh, you know, we'll just execute better. You can't rely on just executing better. If your strategy doesn't work one time, I would say you need to change it up. Even if it's, you know, only a small change. You know, we saw them earlier. The Axe got banned against them yesterday. They went for an aggressive tri-lane. Instead, they had a troll warlord in it, right?
Yes.
That at least is a big change up for them, and already they change it up a fair amount. They pick up the ancient apparition.
Yeah, well, Power Rangers is not necessarily banning heroes out that Total Aggression really played a lot, so perhaps this is something that we can already build our expectations from Power Rangers on, because both Naga and Batrider are, of course, strong against a hero with a BKB. So either they want to go for a natural BKB carrier, or otherwise, of course, there is also a life stealer. And maybe they want to combine that up with a puck or something like that. Since they bet out the Batrider, if you have a life stealer, you kind of want to have something that you can jump into and zip around with. And I say zip because we have seen Scandal play Storm quite a lot. So that is an option for them to go for still. And they could even pick up both at the same time right now if they want to. Though that would reveal quite a big deal of their strategy perhaps, and they don't want to do that. Who knows?
They can certainly do that early. The big thing, though, is that the support pool is probably the hardest to pick heroes for. So generally, most people go for that. And yeah, one of those, they pick up the Shadow Shaman. That's an early support for them. And Invoker, again, for Scandal here. I mean, you said it earlier, this is not exactly a hero he's, you know, especially known for. But I would definitely say Scandal Invoker, it's been pretty impressive. There were some nice Sunstrikes in that last game.
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious if it's going to be an X-Sword Invoker again. It does pair up nicely with the Shadow Shaman, as you do have the Shackle, of course, to hold someone in place if there is a Sunstrike incoming as well. Nature's Prophet now picked up by Total Aggression, a lot of globalness from their side, and they can ban out some heroes that are strong against it, like Weaver, perhaps also like Storm, which could still be a ban. However, with already an Invoker in the pool for Power Rangers, they might try to skip that. I am kind of surprised to see these two picks for Power Rangers, because we've seen these picks before, but it doesn't really match up with the two heroes that Power Rangers banned out, so that's kind of interesting for me to note. Also, something to note is that even though previous game we had, of course, Wicked Sick standing in for Cheshire Cat, Cheshire Cat is here, he's back. Wicked Sick has been put to the sidelines, and that means that J4 is back to support.
I thought you were going to say put down then.
No, that would be a bit rude.
Jesus.
No.
That was a bit harsh.
I just want to give credit, though, because J4, normally the support player for the team, he went offlane on a solo offlane Centaur, and he had a very tough lane, but he ended up doing really well for himself. So I just want to give some credit where credit is due. Though of course Cheshire Cat will take on his role from this point onward again.
Reserve time.
Yeah, J4 did pretty well in the last game. I mean, he struggled a little bit during the early laning stage, and even, I mean, for the first 20 minutes of the game, I don't think I saw him oof-stomp anybody. But after that, he definitely got some great initiations, turned around a couple of fights, particularly going towards the later game. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Power Rangers lineup here, I'm not entirely sure what they're going with here. They've got a lot of options open for them, though. That's the nice thing. The one problem is, again, they do have a Shadow Shaman support. It's a hero that needs a fair amount of farm, needs a fair amount of levels of support. It's very greedy to go for. That said, Total Aggression, they've banned out the Weaver. They picked up the Ancient Apparition, so they can't go Weaver Ancient Apparition because they banned it out. So aggressive tri-lane isn't really open to them anymore, and I'm not sure what they're thinking of doing with this Nature's Prophet, because Furion, Nature's Prophet, whatever you want to call him, he struggles versus Shadow Shaman supports, generally, because one of the big things about him is he needs to sit very far back in the lane and occasionally come up, and when he does come up, Shadow Shaman is a great hero for killing him off. It's not like a Clockwork, where you can just burn off your mana, or you can, you know, he's very hard to kill, even if he is disabled. Nature's Prophet, very easy to kill once he's disabled.
Yeah, and I guess, I mean, Shadow Shaman, you just mentioned it, needs a lot of levels. So does Ancient Apparition. So I'm kind of curious to see, for both teams, which kind of secondary supports they want to pick up, together with the ones that they have right now, assuming that they are indeed supports. I mean, in theory, we've seen both of those as a core hero before. I'm not expecting it, but, you know, you always have to have, like, that 5% to 1% chance in the back of your mind. But their only supports that are banned out are a Dazzle and a Venomancer. Centaur picked up again by Power Rangers, actually. That's going to be probably an off-lane one again, this time for Shy Cat. But both of those would work very nice, the supports that is, would work nice with the Ancient Apparition, mostly. So I'm kind of surprised to see Total Aggression banning out the Dazzle, since it would actually still work out quite nice with them. I mean, imagine someone like Nature's Prophet teleporting in early, having some treants, putting them around one, and putting a weave through there. That's going to be a lot of nuke damage coming through, but they actually, I kind of feel like they kind of hampered themselves with that ban.
Yeah, potentially, but the thing is that there aren't many other pushing carries left in the lineup. Maybe if they left Lycan in, which I don't think they want to do versus Power Rangers, because Power Rangers have used Lycan a fair amount this tournament, then maybe the Dazzle would be a better pick. I think they're going to go with something more killing orientated, though, with the Ancient Apparition being picked up. I mean, Power Rangers, they went for a very smart support ban by taking out the Venomancer, because we've seen it multiple times. Ancient Apparition Venomancer, it doesn't always do particularly well in the lane. Sometimes it does, sometimes it's pretty poor, but it's amazing come mid-game. The damage output that you can put from that, but apparently Total Aggression, they pick up the Rubik again. They've wanted this hero a lot, and it didn't perform that great in the last game, I don't think.
It's kind of tricky. I do find that Shadow Shaman spells are nice to steal most of the time, but yeah, it could, like, it's an okay support, but I feel like it's just a bit too passive. It has an okay combination with the Ancient Apparition, having the Cold Feet proc after the lift off, after the telekinesis, but I'm not convinced that they have to pick it up third, first of all, and it's not that scary. And I kind of need a scary hero from them, because so far they look kind of mellow, and Power Rangers is looking pretty damn scary.
Yeah, and they have maybe an okay combo for killing the Centaur. Not a particularly great one, because Rubik doesn't do much damage, but like you said, they can proc off that Cold Feet. They certainly can't zone him very well, though, from the lane at the moment, unless they get a Slark or something like that can man-fight the Centaur early. I feel like Total Aggression, they're definitely changing up their strategy for this game. With the Nature's Prophet, the Ancient Apparition, even the Rubik to an extent, all of these are heroes that, at least they don't fall off late game. You know, Rubik, it's not like he thrives in the late game, but he doesn't fall off. The same can be said of Ancient Apparition to an extent, because of his ulti, and Rubik obviously because he can steal spells, but I guess Total Aggression, they're going for a more late game strategy. I can't imagine they would be doing something else, not with these sorts of heroes, unless they're going to go for some sort of split push, but I don't know about that.
I'm not too sure if Power Rangers is going to give them the time to actually make it a late game, because Shadow Shaman, if he gets the levels, I mean that's an if of course, but if he gets the levels, he's going to be ready to push fairly fast. Same thing goes for Centaur once he gets his Blink Dagger, and Marana, also a mid-game orientated carry, and it can be very scary. Total Aggression, they need 2 more heroes. I feel like they've kind of been robbed of their Marana, because they have played Marana Rubik an awful lot this tournament, so I'm kind of thinking that perhaps they wanted to go for that one. We've seen them go for aggressive tri-lanes a lot. I'm wondering if that's going to be the same thing for here, though, since the Nature's Prophet on the safe lane against a Centaur, it's okay-ish. But it's not ideal. It's
okay, but the treants aren't going to do very much to the Centaur. He's basically just going to ignore them.
And give them extra gold.
I feel like it'll just give him extra gold. Total Aggression, they again pick up the puck here, so unless there's some sort of carry that we're missing that's going to be great for their aggressive tri-lane, I feel like this has to be, I mean, maybe, but the Troll, I don't know, Troll is very situational. I still almost feel like that game they got lucky with using the Troll in that game. He never got punished or focused in any of the early fights, and that's something that Troll can struggle with. He is very squishy as a core hero.
True. Well,
it doesn't seem like they're going aggressive, though. If they ban the... because Total Aggression just banned a Chen, which is not a good try versus try hero. Enchantress is, Chen not so much. He's more of a defensive hero, so I guess they're running a safe lane. I don't know, though. They could still go aggressive. They have the option open to them, but yeah, it requires the right carry here, and Lifestealer is banned out, like you just said.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they go for. Power Rangers has got the pick first, and they don't really have any bonus time, so they have to pick like right now. And I think depending on what their secondary support's gonna be, they could maybe aggressive trial lane, but no, not anymore. That's it. Aggressive trial lane is over. They can pressure them if they want to slow them down on levels, though, which for both of these heroes is very important.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Total Aggression will go for here. I think the Treant Protector, it's fairly weak in some respects. Certainly, you know, at level 1, level 2, level 3, even up till level 5, he's a pretty weak hero. He does require a fair amount of levels, because the thing is the second spell that you level up on him is his nuke. So he has very little in the way of offensive potential. Power Rangers, they could still think about going the aggressive tri-lane, but because the Treant, if this game, he's going to have to be a support, I assume, unless this is a support Mirana, which could work with the Shadow Shaman, I guess.
Yeah.
That is a fairly good combo for getting arrows off. I don't know, this is dangerous for Total Aggression here, but I think they'll probably pick something they're more comfortable with, which I guess would be aggressive. No, it is going to be defensive then.
And it is going to be very super late game. I wonder if they're going to be given the time to actually build that Spectre up. I wonder if maybe Power Rangers want to be the one to go for an aggressive trial lane, because it could actually work out. Leech Seed first on the Treant. You get a Hex on someone, there's a Leech Seed, Mirana follows up with an arrow. Nobody's going to get out of that. Nobody.
Yeah, it is doable for them. The thing is if Total Aggression are given space on that lane, you say, you know, Spectre's more of a very late game hero. A lot of professional players seem to like her as just a mid game hero, because the thing about Spectre is that you can essentially be completely AFK and then just ult into every fight. You don't actually have to, you know, TP to a lane or anything like that. So you do have a fair amount of time as far as farming is concerned. It's not like you have to stop your farming to go and protect a tower. You can basically still be farming and protect the tower, or be ready to protect the tower. So they could do this as more of a mid-game orientated lineup. I think the big thing is going to be whether PR do go aggressive tri-lane, and it looks like they will be going for an aggressive tri-lane here. It's interesting because Total Aggression, at first glance, they have a kind of weak tri-lane, but Chilling Touch is a lot of early game damage, and if Burkar gets up an early level of Desolate, he only needs 1. They're suddenly going to be doing an extra 70 damage on him. At the very early stage of the game.
Yeah, it all comes down to the initiation.
Yeah, that's the big advantage that PR do have, is they actually have lockdown and strong instant initiation on their side, whereas Total Aggression, they have to Rubik lift into a cold feet. Basically, they have to use it around about the same time. The lift can be used just after the cold feet, and then they'll proc it off, but it takes a long time to actually proc off. You know, it's not instant by any stretch.
Let's take a look at who's playing what, so we get a bit more of a feel about who these teams are, perhaps, if people are not familiar with them, which they should be by now. But we're going to see Failed again on this puck. He played a perfect puck previous game, so I'm not assuming any problems for him. He's going to be up against the same hero, same player as the previous game. But puck for Failed, top trial lane. Safe trial lane has got Kircho playing the Ancient Apparition, FMP on the Rubik, and it is Burka playing the Spectre. J4 is going to get the creep wave.
Yeah, interesting. I guess they're just going to try and grab the creep wave here and try and zone out the side of Total Aggression. That's one good thing that they do have. I pretty much have to say this. Every time a Spectre is picked, this hero has no lane presence whatsoever. He's not bad at securing kills, but he has 0 lane presence. And apparently they already want to try and kill.
That is, I mean, there's only two... There's only two spectral daggers. There's only 2 spectral daggers per mana bar, basically, and not even that. He has to wait before he can get a second one, and then wait for a very long time before his next one. So that was a very expensive go for Buka. It was a bit weird from my point of view. But the last one, by the way, is going to be Etko. He'll play the Nature's Prophet this game, so that means we're seeing him on a bit of a less manly hero than we've seen him before. I mean, there's no axe.
Yeah, hopefully he won't be playing it like he plays his axe, which is always initiate no matter what the situation is.
Even
I do think these are going to be interesting lanes.
No problem.
Yeah, do you want me to go through the side of PR?
Yes, please.
Yeah, on the side of PR, the offlaner, well, he's playing the safe lane on this game, 1v1 versus Edco. It's Cheshire Cat on the Centaur Warrunner. The mid laner for the team, again in this matchup, it's going to be Scandal here on his Invoker, again going Exort, going to be up versus Phalix. And of course, their aggressive tri-lane, Moon on the carry Mirana for this. J4, the Mad Bomber, he's on the Shadow Shaman. And last but not least, it's going to be FNG here. He has picked up a level 1 Leech Seed as the Treant Protector, so wants to go aggressive.
Yeah, he's already pulling the wave back. It's good for him.
Yeah, this wave, so far, it's not shutting down. You know, the Spectre's not getting no last hits, so there is that, but she's struggling. And one thing that she would want is, I mean, Spectre, she needs a lot of last hits, she needs a lot of levels as well to an extent. And for the moment, I think PR, this is going mostly in their favor, especially because Cheshire Cat's not too concerned about Edco here on this offlane.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have Total Aggression go for this, though. They want to go for FNG first, but in comes the Leech Seed, the Shackle, the Arrow, First Blood on the board of Power Rangers, and I'm kind of surprised that they actually went for that. It seemed kind of desperate to me, but you're walking in, like, even if you go for something, don't go for the most tanky target there. Don't go for the tree.
Yeah, I mean, their only real major target they can go for, because they can't go for Moon, because they have no instant lockdown and he has Leap, so that's pointless. They can't go for the Treant Protector, because he's incredibly tanky, like you just pointed out, and with them having the Basilius in the lane, he's got a fair amount of armor as well. They have to go for J4, so J4's positioning is going to be key in this tri-lane. I think the big problem is shown by this tri-lane. They have no instant burst damage. They do have good damage overall, just because of Chilling Touch and the fact that they're all going to be hitting from range, but apart from the Spectre, who's already gets extra bonus damage from Desolate, so they can hit incredibly hard in this tri-lane, but the problem is it takes them a few seconds to do that, and I mean, everybody who plays Dota knows this. Early on, the important thing is burst damage, not your sustained right-click damage at all.
And that's why supports are overall able to support, because they have nice burst damage spells.
Generally, yeah. Not all supports do.
No.
I mean, for instance, look at the Treant Protector. He's not bursty at all, but in this case, he's great because he's... Yeah, and he's a big buffer zone as well. You basically, like I said, you can't go on the Treant Protector. He's too tanky to do it. He heals himself up. He can heal an ally up as well. That's how he's able to support. But yeah, generally most support heroes, they rely on burst damage. And this tri-lane, it is pretty bursty for them. It's not like a super heavy burst tri-lane, but at the very least, it's pretty well built to deal with a Spectre.
Yeah, I would actually say put that Ancient Apparition maybe on the bottom lane, or maybe, I don't know, not Leech experience from the Spectre, because Rubik is all they need for saving him.
If they don't have the Spectre here, they have no damage in the tri-lane whatsoever, and PR can just dive
I mean, Ancient Apparition for a different lane. I mean, Spectre can be here to get experience. If they don't He's actually going to be walking right into J4. In comes a Shackle as well as the Moonlight Shadow, or not Moonlight Shadow, sorry, the Starstorm. Puka is going to lift that one with Edco teleporting in. This is going to be J4 dead, and Arrow will fly out. We'll still hit on FMP as FNG is going to be trying to right-click them down. They're able to take down at least 1 for 2 so far. It looks to be not over just yet, though. Edco comes to teleport in to die. Wow, that was an awful play-by-play by me, but that was still a very worthy exchange for Power Rangers. They got 3, and they only lose 1 support Shadow Shaman, who is, as pointed out already by you earlier, the most squishy one.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman's going to die in pretty much any engagement like that, especially diving under the tower there, but the nice thing for Total Aggression is Burkhard does survive throughout that, so he gets a fair amount of XP, but it doesn't matter. I mean, look at the levels already on this aggressive tri-lane, and they're just going to go on him again.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, Starstorm again, and that's going to be punched to death with a tree. I mean, they are getting this lane
those other supports
and
to be
actually,
with him.
Invoker just solo killed Puck as well.
Yeah, and this is twice in 2 games he's managed to do that on the Exort Invoker here. I guess it seems to be working out for him. The farm is relatively even again, but the solo kill, that means a fair amount in this sort of lane. And this is why I don't want the Ancient Apparition to even be anywhere, you know, away from this this Spectre in the early game, because otherwise they have no potential to defend her. Their only real way of defending her is stick Chilling Touch on everyone in the tri-lane and just fight. That's all they can do.
Cheshire Cat wants to take down Edco. He has got a double edge sitting at level 3, but he can't have the vision. Edco is going to teleport out. Oh! 8 is 3 too late. And in the meantime, Rubik managed to get killed off by a Sunstrike on the top lane.
Yeah, the Centaur ulti allowed them to just run straight into him. They shackled him up, they hexed him up, and they just dropped the Sunstrike, and they didn't even have to use the Sacred Arrow for that. And yeah, this is the problem with running this sort of tri-lane. They don't have any burst damage, and Spectre, one of the worst try-on-try heroes probably in the game, if not the worst try-on-try hero. I mean, you'd be better off with pretty much anything, even Faceless Void. At least he hits a little bit harder and he can move faster. Yeah, he can move a little bit faster. Spectre, I mean, she's got an escape, but it's very weak escape. You have to throw it into trees and then run there. I mean, it's not like arrows can't be used, you know? Yep. You can still be taken out pretty easily by that.
It's very expensive as well in terms of mana. And I mean, this kind of game, I kind of feel like Total Aggression underestimated the aggression from Power Rangers, underestimated the fighting potential of them, and went for a very greedy lineup. I mean, bottom lane, Rubik is gonna get shackled and hexed and ether shocked and sunstruck and killed. There's really nothing they can do right now. Edgo forced back to base. Like, who is gonna be the hero to pull this game back? Is that gonna be a Fails again? But he is this time not gonna be assisted to try and help. Like previous game, he had an axe, and the axe could turn things around. Now they have an Aegis Prophet instead of that axe. And
oh man, Kircho might go down actually. They have the Sunstrike as well soon.
Yeah, they don't need the Sunstrike though. Just nuke him down. Scandal still taking quite a beating, and actually with the silence, perhaps they can take down Scandal. The Chilling Touch is there as well. The Sunstrike will still hit on Fails, who's taking a lot of damage. Will try to get away, can't though, as the tree will run like a crazy person. Still getting chased down. Moonlight Shadow might keep him safe though, and indeed it does. Nicely done for him. Leech Seed coming out. He wants to go for a solo kill here. I'm not sure if that is enough. Oh, maybe it is. In comes the Living Armor trying to hit that. Oh, the arrow misses though. But Buka still gonna get killed off. Moon coming in from the sideline. Starstorm up on the Rubik as well. Looks to get a second double kill for Moon. Wants to get a triple kill. Can he make it happen? He has a leap. He doesn't have an arrow though, but perhaps in 2 seconds he'll hit it. He has to hit that arrow if he wants to get this kill. Let's see if he can. He's gonna try to hit the arrow, and the puck instead misses it though. And now we'll be in some trouble himself. Living Armor coming out again in the Treant, and it's gonna be a cold snap on the Puck, who's gonna get killed off because of that one. Can't get away. Another kill for the tree. It is 13-2.
FNG is doing work in these fights.
Oh my god. I can't believe he made it out of there alive.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is, I've actually seen this before. It's one of the reasons why Treant is even a legit solo mid hero. Is if you Leech Seed somebody, Living Armor yourself, and then just run at them at this stage of the game, Total Aggression, they don't have enough burst damage to cut through that, right? You need to cut through all those charges of Living Armor whilst he's healing himself up, slowing you down and beating your face in. And the thing about Treant is that people kind of forget, he has ridiculous base damage. He is at 117 base damage at this stage of the game. He can man-fight practically anybody on the side of Total Aggression. That said, Total Aggression, they have been, I mean, the ideas behind what they've been doing have been great, right? They've been teleporting people in, making use of the fact that they have mobile heroes. They can have more people in the fight at once, but it just doesn't matter. PR are just, they've outdrafted them here and outlaned them, and it's 14-2. I feel like this one's going to be over fairly soon.
I think so too. We have J4 sitting at level 6. They actually have the hero levels up because it is quite scary. There's still a level 3 on the side of Total Aggression. The safe trial and just didn't get anything, so that's the Rubik right there. And then there is a level 7 and level 8 or higher up on the side of for Rangers. Good job, J4. Good job. Luckily there is a blink.
It's no big deal.
And actually he blinks almost right into Edgo, who is gonna be in some trouble if he's gonna get gone upon. No. Cheshire Cat gonna try to run. Moonlight Shadow will keep them safe. Dream Coil coming out, but they're invisible. They don't have detection. Oh my god, it is Cheshire Cat who just jumps in. And Shadow Shaman with an Ether Shock. Yeah, that's gonna be GG. They're 2-manning this with the Invoker helping out with the Sunstrike. That's gonna be indeed a very fast second game. 10 minutes. Total Aggression. They don't want to waste any more time. They want to try and get this. What?
Huh?
The wrong throat explodes.
Okay. I mean, I think we know what happens.
Yeah,
TA obviously take the win. Nah.
When they check later.
PR, I mean, they pretty much crushed them that game. They just had a better try lane, and if you lose a try-on-try situation like that, and you don't have somebody who else is winning their lane, Edco wasn't winning his lane. They weren't winning their mid lane either. They just got crushed. I mean, that was a nice draft by the side of PR there, and Total Aggression. I mean, the problem with their lineup there is that they don't have anybody who's doing early damage on, right? And they don't have And because of that, they don't have anybody who's able to extend the game out and give them even any time. And yeah, PR, they just walk all over them. It was nicely played by them, but TotalAggression just kind of drafted themselves into a hole.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they learned from this one though, and we're gonna see a third game. Hopefully not our last. It is a best of 5. Stick around for game 3 of this best of 5 grand final series between Power Rangers and TotalAggression for, of course, the D2 Romania Spring Cup, which is what you are watching. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.